Hey yo, YouTube, what's up? And I'm back with part two of designers that should go to hell for their ideas, bro. Like I said, last video was hella long, so we're gonna finish this out, y'all. Let's go.
Not all bad designs are quite so deceptive, though. Whether it be due to a lack of creative talent or some serious oversights in the manufacturing process, some designs are just plain
That's funny. The girl's face on the side of that jaw is hilarious.
bad. Like this
That looked like
advert
a
in the
pad.
shampoo section of a store.
Was that
While
a
it's supposed to
was that a pool float that was just, that looked like a sanitary pad? Like some motherfucker always or some shit.
show a woman with her hair up in a towel, the brightness of the white just makes it look like she's got a remarkably unfortunate haircut. If that's how those shampoos make your hair look, I'd be surprised if
I
they
thought
made
that
a
was a
single
towel.
sale. That is, unless Tintins are regular at the store. Of course.
That one, I mean, I guess it's all about your perspective because when I first saw it, all I saw was a girl with a towel, like she was washing her face. So I mean, I guess some people will see that she looked like alfalfa, but I didn't catch it at first. I was like, oh, okay, I guess. Not really.
Of course, laughably bad design isn't restricted to the world of commerce. People make equally awful design choices in their own homes, like the homeowners responsible for putting their fridge slap bang in the middle of their kitchen at a jaunty angle. It looks like the interior designer forgot a kitchen needs a fridge, then added to the plans last minute. Perhaps they convinced the unwitting homeowners that middle-of-the-room fridge cupboards were
We'd have a problem. Let me have my house built or whatever the case may be, or redesigned or whatever the case may be. And I walk in my kitchen and my fridge is in the middle of the kitchen with its own cupboard. The fridge cupboard? Come on now, bro. Y'all is doing way too much.
a hot new trend.
I want it. It's everything.
But when it comes to poor taste, it doesn't get much worse than this utterly cursed sight. A bathroom with a
Is that carpet?
all the way up the side of the tub. Putting aside the questionable color, it's not hard to shudder at the thought of what kind of filth, odor, damp, and mildew has accumulated in that carpet
Ooh,
over
that
the years.
carpet
Don't
dirty.
be ridiculous. Think of the smell. You haven't thought of the smell.
Not to mention the skin-crawling sensation of squelching around on
Ew.
the dampened surface after taking a bath.
That's
But
so
there's
gross.
one type of restroom that's even worse than a carpeted one. A
Ugh.
restroom with clear glass toilet stalls. It's like something out of a nightmare. While the reason behind this choice is unknown, it's certainly a guaranteed way to
You would
make
never see
people
me use
hurry
that
up their
bathroom.
business. After all, would you stay there for long if someone was making eye contact with you while waiting impatiently for their turn?
That's
I think
creepy.
not.
Mm-mm.
While laughably bad designs are often a
No.
matter of taste, other times they're the result of a total lack of logic, like this electrical button panel an internet user shared online. While you'd usually expect the numbers to ascend from left to right, continuing on each line, these read from top to bottom. That is, until we reach the number 9, which is followed by 12A. Then 12, then 16, 10 finally appears, randomly squeezed between 6 and 16, but 11 doesn't pop up until after 15. It all finishes with 18 and 17 in the wrong order. And for some reason, 17 is given 2 buttons. Whoever wired this thing either took some serious creative liberties with the approach or just made several mistakes.
I think he was fucking with people. I think he was fucking with people. He's like, I'm gonna make you go on a search for your button. You just gonna come in there and think you just gonna push any your button. You just gonna get to your floor. Hell no, this is my building.
By the way, looking at it makes you feel like you're losing brain cells by the second.
That shit's
Unlike
funny.
obviously bad designs, some design fails are only apparent from certain perspectives, like this set of stairs, which looks perfectly safe and you might even say pleasant when approaching the door. But for those stepping through the door, looking down, they blend into what can only be described as a broken ankle waiting to happen. For a
Damn.
literal step-by-step guide on how to get sued for dangerous decor, look no further.
That's it. That's crazy.
Staying on the topic of designs whose danger lies in how you look at them, take a look at these.
Thanks to this, I'm able to pay for my rent.
Oh, what that was. What was those? It looked like Easter eggs.
I became a dasher. In
So
At
did
a
I.
glance, with packaging that references candy both in its general style and in the images it features, you'd be forgiven for thinking these were packets of tasty, juicy jawbreakers. But
Those look
you'd
like
be wrong.
eggs.
These are all bath bombs and are merely scented like candy. While they do say bath bombs on their label, I can't help feeling these are merely one half-distracted parent away from a child tucking in and having a very unpleasant surprise. But the big question is, do you think manufacturers...
Because when I first saw it, I was like, it has to be some type of candy because they covered up the word bath bombs. You know what they are because you didn't read. If you picking up stuff without reading them, then that's your issue. Why are you picking up stuff at the store without knowing what you're buying? That's counterproductive and a waste of money.
intentionally made these look like candy to trick people into buying them? Or do people really like bathing in candy aromas? Let me know what you think
never
in the
know.
comments
Maybe
below.
for kids. You know? Maybe people like
Of
fruity
course,
shit.
not all poorly designed packaging is dangerous or misleading. Some of it is bad simply because it benefits the manufacturers at the expense of the consumer's convenience. Like an unforgivable change the manufacturers of the classic brick tower game Jenga made to their packaging design. In order to fit more boxes on the shelves, and hence sell more volumes of the product, Jenga's manufacturers changed their box design to a wider, more attention-grabbing form factor. This replaced the old, perfectly square-topped box that fit the fully formed Jenga tower, that could be pulled out and played immediately and stored neatly away afterwards, ready for next time. The new design sported a rectangular base and was shorter, meaning it no longer fit a full tower, forcing purchasers to assemble it from scratch every time. Never before has a nostalgic toy betrayed us so badly. Now, crummy packaging that inconveniences the user of a product is one thing, but packaging that intentionally misleads consumers about its contents, particularly in terms of quantity, is a whole other kettle of fish. Unfortunately, though, this is something that happens all the time, as is the case with the dark secret inside what appears to be a considerably large container of superglue.
But it's
Seems
only
like a decent size,
the little
but when
square.
the front plate is removed, the truth is revealed. It's
Damn.
just a regular-sized glue packet in fancy clothing. But not only is this sneaky deception, which is carried out in a number of varieties, a
That's
waste
crazy.
of plastic, it's also sold by weight. This means many people assume they're getting more than the regular amount of glue, only to find they've just paid for more packaging. While this packaging claims to make applying the glue slightly easier, with all that empty space inside, you think they could have at least made the tube a little bigger. Not to mention the fact that a lot of glue would be wasted, considering this oversized plastic casing isn't as good as your fingers at squeezing out the last few drops. So when it comes to glue, just stick to what you know. Cosmetic products are some of the worst offenders when it comes to egregious, unnecessary packaging. If you haven't experienced it firsthand, let me enlighten you with this.
Yeah, I'm not a big commercial person.
Seems like a fairly standard box holding a tub of moisturizer, right? Well, look how much you actually get when you pull it out. All that cardboard is wasted on nothing but empty space. Some companies claim these kinds of tactics are to help with theft prevention. But even if that is true, I can't help but feeling it's a little too convenient that this technique also tricks people into believing they're getting more for their money, with the added marketing benefit of a bigger box being more likely to catch people's attention. I definitely smell some deception. But while cosmetic
cheating
products
people.
can make spotting deception difficult until they're out of the box, there is a way to avoid being misled by packaging of a different kind. If you ever spot a container that's supposed to be filled with lots of items of a single type, like this box of pens, be sure to look close at the label. If it says something like 150 pieces rather than 150 pens, or whatever the specific item's meant to be, there may be trickery afoot. Pieces is a super vague word, and in the case of pens, can refer to everything, including the pens themselves, their pen lids, the box, packing cardboard, any instruction sheets, and so on. And that's exactly the trickery here. 150 pieces lands you with less than half that amount of pens in a cardboard padded box with a swindle hidden behind a big sticker. Not to mention the fact that most of the colors are just repeats. Maybe the hole in the middle is just a space to store your disappointment. While we're on the topic of outrageous scams that don't give you your money's worth,
that was just outright scammy though. Like they just did too much with that one. Like just blatantly trying to get people money. That's so fucked up.
For example, than American universities. While college in the USA is ludicrously expensive in general, I'm talking specifically about college books. These tomes.
Bro, college books, why are they so expensive? Why are the college books so expensive, bro? That makes no sense.
Of knowledge, which are never included in the extortionate university fees, often cost poor students upwards of $100 a pop, and don't usually cover much more than a term's worth of learning. But here's the worst part. The publishers of these oversized learning manuals, laughing from their thrones of cash, sometimes don't even bother to bind the books. Increasingly commonly, textbooks like these ones, with prices ranging from $110 to $240 per book, arrive as merely a collection of hole punched sheets. With these unbelievable textbook costs, not to mention the huge debts tuition fees rack up, the future can often seem uncertain for newly.
My student loans fall off this year. Oh yeah! I'm sorry, I just got a little hype. Cause yeah, make them off that report, baby. Let's go.
Graduated students, but post-college life was intended to be painted in an optimistic light in this next university-related design fail with disastrous results. This ad for graduation photography was supposed to imply that there was a bright future on the horizon, but it ends up having some darker implications. The graduate walking on the train tracks with a light in the near distance makes it look like an approaching train is about to provide a very morbid solution to those college debts. I guess this is what people mean when they say, man, life really hits hard after school. But you know what's good for yourself up when life gets tough?
See, they didn't show the part, the look to the future part before. They just showed a girl with a graduation, the graduation cap and gown or whatever, on some train tracks. I was like, she gonna run into the train? Hilarious.
Cake. That is, so long as your local baker doesn't have any dishonest tactics baked into their products. Unfortunately, some cake mixers utilize a pretty shocking tactic.
That little commercials in that song, bro. Like,
of stuffing their cakes with polystyrene foam or cardboard to make them look bigger than they actually are, as various people have shared online. The devious ploy usually involves half the cake being made up of the filler material, but hidden behind a wrapping of fondant. While this practice is actually legal, seeing as there is technically a full cake inside, the risk of swallowing some of the inedible filling sends this bad design ploy straight to Danger Town. But when food's concerned, nothing proves looks can be deceiving more than the use of a technique I like to call deceptive arrangement. This is when an item is placed in its packaging in such a way that it looks like you're getting a good-sized, high-quality serving.
Oh, I saw
But
that
once you
pink
buy
one.
it and open it up, you realize you've been
Yeah,
woefully
I was like,
swindled.
what?
Like this pizza, for instance, where the sparse toppings have been tactically arranged to peek out of the transparent panel on the box, leaving the rest of the pizza embarrassingly bare. Clearly, those meatballs wanted a window seat. And how
Yo,
about these cookies?
yeah,
Looks like a
no,
very generous serving of jam on the packet.
it's
But,
not.
oh dear. Either there was some issue on the production line, or that's some
Do
flagrant
a
false
dollop.
advertising.
That's
Let's
not even a
hope it's the
dollar.
former,
That's a
but
dab.
regardless, those cookies are about 1,000,000 miles away from how they're presented on the packet. Some of the most common food scams of this kind come in the form of convenience store sandwiches, or as I like to call them, scamwiches.
Those are ill witches. Like, because if you get them, I'm like, ew, you want to eat that sandwich? Ugh.
Now, no one
Just
expects
go
culinary
to the deli and get your sandwich made. Like, simple as that, bro. Like, do not eat those disgusting sandwiches. Oh, no, I'm going to the Poppy store. Give me a sandwich, first of all.
mastery from a convenience store snack. But this is just too much. From the front, these scamwiches look pretty well filled. But with
No.
the filling taking a front seat only, it proves to be all just an
Is
illusion.
that supposed to be
Even
cucumber?
so, at least you get some variety in that scamwich, unlike this one, which, once disassembled, reveals the feeblest attempt at a salami and pickle combo the world has ever seen. If 2020 was a sandwich, you're looking at it.
That's crazy.
And if there was ever a hotel where room service would be likely to bring you the scamwiches you just witnessed, it'd be the one visited by Reddit user Official Fobs in 2019. When booking a room at the hotel, the Redditor paid extra for a room with a bigger TV. However, when he got settled in and went to switch the TV on, this was what greeted him. Instead of shelling out for bigger TVs in certain rooms, the hotel instead placed large wood and plastic casings around small TVs. It's certainly one of the most creative forms of deceptive design I've seen,
That's
but
just
that
fucked
doesn't
up.
make it any less of a betrayal. After the Redditor realized that the small screen that appeared wasn't just an issue with the TV settings, they had a good laugh at the trickery. But how would you react
I'm not
if
gonna
this
have no
happened to
good
you?
laugh. I'm not gonna have a good laugh. Is what I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna go get my money back. Matter of fact, I may get comped for the room. Please, you gonna make me charge? You gonna charge me for a bigger TV? And it's not a bigger TV. No,
You let me know in the comments.
I didn't have to let you know. I just told you.
We now move
Sorry.
from small screens to small
I did.
print, which is something you should always check if you want to avoid design tactics aimed at tricking you into buying stuff. One specific example, which may be the most literal naming of a product I've ever seen, was encountered by people attempting to buy wireless earphones on Amazon. Now, any sane person would assume that, judging by the box for these earphones, they'd come as a pair, right? Two earphones are pictured, and who sells single earphones? Well, it seems like buyers are expected to look closer at the packaging,
This is
which says
earphone.
wireless music earphone rather than wireless music earphones. It isn't a typo. This company meant it literally. One singular earphone comes in the box, along with its humorously small charging cable. Thankfully, after a rush of complaints, this desperate attempt to trick people resulted in the seller being forced to change its Amazon listing to specify the whole single earphone truth. And while I'd argue a total removal from the store would have been better, a little honesty about a sneaky earphone design choice is still music to my ears. What's the worst example of terrible or devious design you've ever encountered?
Not the one here, just the one. Oh my god, that is savage, bro. Yo, man, that is fucked up. Oh, that's fucked up. All right, man, that's going. That's gonna be it for this video, man. If you like this video, man, make sure you hit that like button, bro. Make sure you hit that subscribe button too. Hit them noties. And I'm out. Peace.